All right, guys, here we go. We are going to be putting together an impact mouthguard so that we can have a custom mouthguard. This is not a sponsored episode. This is just something I need to do because my custom mouthguard from the dentist got lost, and I've been using one of those ones that you just go and drop in hot water and then you throw it in your mouth, and legitimately I feel like I'm choking. If you have not had a custom mouthguard before, you don't know how important it is to get one of these. It's going to keep you safer because the mouthguard is not going to be falling out. You don't have to worry about throwing a punch and having it fly out. I feel like I'm constantly biting down on this new mediocre one, whereas my last one was stuck in there. I could breathe, I could talk, and I didn't have to constantly think bite down, because if I don't, it's gonna fall out, and then all of a sudden I'm gonna have it out of place, somebody hits me and I get a chipped tooth. So, which I already have actually, because I didn't have my custom mouthguard. So these guys, I will have a promo code. I will get a little bit of a kickback if you purchase, and that'll help the channel, support the channel, that is great. But I am super excited to get this going because this is much more reasonable than getting one from your dentist. Last time I went to the dentist and asked them, ooh, might want to get a new one. They quoted me something like $250. I was going, whew, that's a lot of money. So what do we have here? What do you need if you're getting your own custom mouthguard? Well, first of all, you're going to need your phone because you're going to have a 2.5 minute timer once you stick this putty in your mouth. You got your bag to send your impression back to the company. You have a couple putties. If your first attempt is not good when you mix these two, you have a second attempt, and then you have 3 different trays. Now, the owner, Frank, I was watching one of his videos and he was explaining that when you put these in, you want to have a little bit of wiggle room. You want to be able to push it all the way in, top lip over the top of this guard, and then from there, be able to wiggle. Let's see if I can do it with the smallest one. No, I can tell right away that one is way too small. It doesn't go to my back molar and there is no wiggle room. Medium one. That one seems on point. And the large. No, I can't even get that in comfortably. I don't even want to do that. So we're going to go with the medium. What Frank was saying is once you mix these, it is time sensitive. You're going to mix and mix and mix as quick as you can until all the white is gone. Mesh it together with your fingers until all the white is gone and you only see blue. We'll get that done first, and then it's time sensitive. There's an additional process after, before we stick this into our mouths. This is my first time ever doing this, but it seemed fairly straightforward and fairly simple the way he was explaining it. So I just take the 2 in between my fingers and I just start meshing it together. And we're just looking to get rid of all that white. And here we go. It's starting to dissipate. It's not taking very long. That's always something to know as well when you commit to something like this. How long is this going to take me? Would I rather just go and spend the $250 at the dentist then go through this long, excruciating process? But look at that. The white's already gone. So it's not long, it's not excruciating. I'm gonna do it a few more times just to be safe. That looks entirely blue. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna roll it into a ball. Nice circle. And then from there, we're gonna roll it out and make it look like a cigar. There we are. Finally, we're going to stick this in our case here. And he was saying the main thing that we want to make sure we're doing is push. I'm going to make this a little longer. We're going to push this to the very front of the guard so that the palate right in the middle here has no putty on it. Push that down, force it to the front. And now I have 2.5 minutes where I'm going to bite down. So I was too slow. I talked too much and it already hardened. So we're going to redo this. Try one more time. I'm going to be prompt this time, talk less. All right, quick, fast scramble. And when you get it in there, you get this putty in the guard. You want to make sure your front teeth line up to the very center. Be very diligent about that. All right, here we go. That looks better. All right. This one's much easier to manipulate. I talked too much last time. It's so much softer. Get it in there right away. And here we go. And there we go. A couple notes. You're going to drill a little bit. Also, if you have a gag reflex, you probably want to avoid having some of it stick out the end, just because I was finding that it was getting fairly unpleasant there. I was getting that gag urge, I suppose. But overall, that's looking good. So now what I can do is I can send them a picture of this and make sure that this impression looks up to their standard, make sure they like it, minimizes the chance of having to go back and do it a second time. But to me, it looks pretty good. So what we're gonna do now is send the email, send this whole product in. We just throw everything, other cases into the bag, put it back in here, ship it off, and then I will have some feedback for you guys very soon. All right, success. I received my Impact mouthguard, got a nifty little case here that apparently this mouthguard case kills 99.9% of germs it comes in contact with. But, I mean, that's cool. But more importantly, I got my custom green mouthguard. You get to choose what you want it to look like. Obviously not a massive priority compared to the fact that, yes, I now have something which is gonna fit properly. I wanna do a comparison for you guys, first and foremost, between a normal mouthguard that you can go to the store and you can buy from just any random sports store. I'm gonna throw this in and show you how I can talk and how difficult it is for it to stay in. So if I actually try and communicate with you guys, I'm just gonna talk about my belts behind me. So I got these belts behind me. If I can't talk because it's constantly falling in and out, and it just does not stick. That's a big problem. Because anytime you go to breathe, you open your mouth and you breathe and you're not actively biting down, it's gonna fall out, which means as I've been sparring with this, while I've been waiting for my Impact mouthguard, every time I have to take a deep breath, it opens. If somebody happens to hit me then, the mouthguard is gonna fall out. Now we look at this thing. When I take this awesome mouthguard, I love the green, when I take it and I stick it in, it suctions. So now I can talk to you guys and this thing is gonna stay in there. Additionally, if I'm moving around, I'm moving and I wanna take a step back and breathe deep through my mouth, I can do that. And it's not gonna fall. Whereas with that other one, that's how hard it is to get out. Let's do that one more time. You gotta peel this thing out. That to me is a really good mouthguard. And with the other one, which you drop in boiling water, like I said, every time you take a big breath, it falls out. You always have to be biting, which means you have to normally breathe through your nose. Some people can breathe through their nose very well. I don't get as much airflow through my nose, probably because I've been hit a decent amount. So for me to go, I'm gonna start really gassing because of lack of airflow. So I like to be able to breathe through my nose here, but once I back out, take those breaths through my mouth. This thing is fantastic. And as I promised you guys, I have a promo code. There's gonna be a link down below and you can use Varga10 to save 10%. So thanks everybody for tuning in for this episode on the Impact Mouthguard. I hope you enjoyed the whole experience, getting to learn how to make it alongside me, getting your custom mouthguard, and now just being that much safer. Again, this is the most important piece of equipment you can have in the gym, in my opinion, because it's gonna stop you from getting your brain rattled. It's gonna stop your teeth from chipping. You can really go and grab any pair of gloves, any pair of new gloves, your hands will be safe. Any good pair of shin pads, you'll be safe. But this one, you do not want to cheap out on. So I will see you guys hopefully back on the channel soon with your brand new mouthguard. As always, train hard.